In today's episode, Erica asks, I'm going to release an ebook soon. I'm using eBook to build an audience and really an email list. Any advice on do's and don'ts about launching the book? So, launching an ebook, like any form of content marketing, a blog, a podcast, a YouTube series, an ebook, white papers, webinars, you name it, is really product marketing. We think of these things as part of marketing, and in a meta sense they are, but to successfully launch a piece of content, we need to treat it as a product and launch it as a product. It's no different than, you have a book, a real book that you're trying to sell. You want to have the same kind of battle plan. You may not have the same level of resources that a paper book or a commercial book may be doing when you're doing content marketing launch, but you want the same style process to ensure consistent success for your content marketing. And that's the key. Consistent success comes from a process. So let's look at one process, the 7D framework. This is a framework by my company, Trust Insights. So let's just bring it up here. So it's a 7-step process to building this framework from idea to iteration. The first is the discover phase. Have you done your market research? What does the audience really care about? If you're building content marketing and you're building it for an intended audience, who is that audience? What do they want? What do they care about? This is where things like search data are going to be really important. SEO keywords will tell you this is what the ebook should even be about, but it will also guide you towards the creation of eventually your landing page and things like that. The second stage is define. What are the product requirements? So formats. In your market research, did you check to see, do people just want it in PDF format? Do they want it in Mobi format, which is the Kindle format? iPub format for iBooks and stuff, EPUB format. Is there an audiobook requirement? You need to have all these product requirements fleshed out in order to make the book as successful as possible, to give people as many options as possible for that book in the format that they want to consume it in. Third is design. What is the content going to have feature-wise? And this isn't just like the cover of the book. This is throughout the book. And then what are the other features that are going to be in it? Is there an interactive website? Is there a quiz? Is there a worksheet, a workbook to go with it? What are the add-ons that someone would expect to be part of a book in the modern book marketing era? Fourth is you're going to create a market-ready product. Now, for some businesses, they'll call this minimum viable product, but because it's an ebook, it's very binary. Either the book is done or it's not done. But this is the hard part of actually writing and creating the final outcome, and then the illustrations and all the formatting that again makes a great book stand out from a not great book. And a part of this is going to be how it looks from a look and feel perspective, right? You're going to have, there are some business books that have a very specific feel to them, right? They have certain types of text. There are other business books that have a very different kind of feel, like Jay Bear's Talk Triggers, that has a lot more whimsical stuff in it and things. So what is, from a delivery perspective, when you're building this thing to a market-ready product, what is it going to be, and how are you going to put those pieces together? Fifth step is deploy. This is your go-to-market strategy. How are you going to market? Are you going to bring it? Is it going to be for sale on Amazon? Is it going to be free on Amazon? Something to really think about. You can get a lot of incremental success from having a book on Amazon. Even if it's an ebook for marketing purposes, why not put it on Amazon for free? It's the world's largest marketplace for pretty much everything. Where else is this thing going to market? Is it going on the company website? Is it going on your website? Is it, where will people be able to get this thing? Which brings us to the next stage, which is distribution. This is where the as the automotive folks say, the rubber meets the road. Advertising, PR, marketing, sales. How are you going to get this thing out to people? Are you going to do Facebook ads? Are you going to do Twitter ads, Google AdWords, YouTube ads, things like that? Do you have a mailing list? One of the things that's a meta part of this framework, outside of this framework, is to be a consistently successful author, or to be a consistently successful marketer, you need to have a database you can draw on repeatedly over time. You have to give value for months or years, and then once in a blue moon, you ask for value from that. So do you have a distribution channel, or multiple distribution channels? If you don't, do you have budget to reach out to influencers, people who have large mailing lists? Do you have money for media buys, things like that, that will help you distribute this piece of content as far and as wide as possible? And I don't know that I would have a massive distribution plan for, just a standard white paper, but if it's a true book that you're really trying to make successful, you need to have that distribution plan, budget, and a strategy for it. Finally is the development process. So now you've done all of this, you've got the book's gone to market, it's done okay. Now you start doing iterations and development of it. That can mean a couple different things. One is, like my friend Jay Baer does this frequently with his books. He'll take a main book and then he'll break it into pieces. So there'll be he did a book a while ago called Utility, that he then made utility for banks, utility for finance, utility for insurance, utility for healthcare. So can you take that ebook that you're doing and then put a different lens on it each time through, and then go back through this cycle, and each time you now do market research. For example, you go back to the discover phase and do market research for what does your book look like for the healthcare industry, and repeat the process. The second is, of course, multiple editions, second edition, third edition, fourth edition. I just released my own book, AI for Marketers, the second edition. And there was a whole going through this process all over again to radically change what I did the first time around. So this is the process for product marketing. Treat an ebook as such, especially if you're doing it with a clearly defined goal, like building an audience, building an email list. Then you have clear metrics and stuff that you can use to flesh out this framework, but deliver your product to market like this. Great question as always. There's a ton more to unpack in here, but this is a good start. If you have any follow-on comments, just leave them in the comments below. And of course, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. And I'll talk to you soon.
Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.